AI is already running the front desks of the fastest longevity clinics in this space. I'm talking about following up with patients, booking patients in, and waking up old leads. But that is just half of it. The clinics actually pulling ahead are actually using AI agents internally to make their teams faster, sharper, and more efficient than ever. And if your clinic isn't doing this yet, you're losing patients to someone who is. And in this exact video, I'm going to show you how AI agents work, how they can actually help you externally to grow your patient base, and how they can help you internally to supercharge your team. So stay with me, it's gonna be a fun video. So let's start. We have here AI agents, the complete playbook. Okay, so I've actually designed this Google Doc to help you understand what AI agents are, how they can actually help you, what are the right tools to use, and if it's actually a right time to start using this technology or not yet. So with AI, people think it's just ChatGPT where they use to summarize emails or brainstorm ideas by going back and forth with it. It's still useful. We've all been there using it like a therapist, actually summarize emails. It actually saves a lot of time. But it doesn't make a huge impact on your business or help you save and make more money. It also doesn't make the processes in your clinics more effective and efficient, okay? So the easy way to actually explain the difference between a traditional AI and AI agents, okay? So imagine I handed you a hammer, it's useful, but you still have to swing it, okay? Now imagine I hired a construction worker. He picks up the hammer himself, knows what needs to be built, and keeps working all day. That is literally the difference between ChatGPT and AI agents, okay? The only nuance to this as well is for the construction worker, you actually have to train it in the beginning. And that is exactly the case with AI agents. You just need to spend and invest time to actually train it on the processes and what you want it to do in the beginning, and then it runs itself like a construction worker, and it just gets better and better. So the first reason that I would say here is it actually gives you leverage, all right? Imagine your clinic is a restaurant, okay? So normally when more customers walk through the door, you need to hire more waiters. AI changes that. It's like giving every employee an extra pair of hands. Your clinic can handle more patients without needing to grow your team at the same pace, okay? So if you have this week 50 patients and you grow next week to 150 patients, and you were only operating with one AI agent, you don't need two. Actually, AI agents can handle volume, which is a really good thing, okay? So the second way of how can AI agents actually help us, it actually saves time, okay? So think about it. Doctors spend 10, 15, sometimes 20 years mastering medicine and actually perfecting their craft, okay? They dedicate their lives to becoming exceptional. But once they open a clinic, they suddenly become marketers, salespeople, recruiters, managers, receptionists, administrators. I know that because, I've seen it with my own eyes, all right? So it's like training your entire life to become a world-class chef only to spend half your day washing dishes, okay? So you master your craft, like I said, and when you open your private practice, you're actually operating a business at the end of the day. You still have to bring customers, you still have to retain them, you still have to give a good service, you still have to manage people. There's a lot of admin stuff that needs to be done, so there's a lot of business things. And especially during the first 2 years, you spend probably 50% of your time doing the business things, all right? And AI can give you your time back. What do I mean by that? It takes over the repetitive operational work so you can spend more of your time doing what you're actually trained to do, which is helping patients and practicing medicine. So if you actually implement AI efficiently, it can actually help you with the business stuff, okay? It can absolutely help you with the financing, the accounting, the marketing, the sales, the recruiting, the managing, like actually having an AI receptionist and AI administrator. And if you train it in the beginning, like the first month or two, it can take over all of the repetitive tasks on your behalf, and you can just focus on actually serving the patients the best you can. You'd be saving money, and then you're going to be making more money with seeing more patients and actually giving more value to them because you're going to be having more energy to do the main thing of why you open a practice in the first place. So the third way of how AI agents can actually help you is with consistency. So humans have good days and bad days. We get tired, distracted, and sometimes forget things. And AI, fortunately enough, doesn't. So think of it like an autopilot on an airplane. The pilot is still in control, which is you. You're still in control of your business, but through routine, repetitive tasks, you can hand them down to AI so it can happen consistently every single time. So your AI agent is with you 24/7, okay? The fourth reason on why you should use AI actually get you more competitive. So I've actually put here two clinics, Clinic A and Clinic B, all right? So with Clinic A, The reception misses calls after reception hours, all right? So your receptionist or you finish work at 5 or 6 p.m. and you probably receive a lot of calls after that time, all right? Why shouldn't you use an AI receptionist that could be receiving these calls and booking them for you? Because it's actually already trained on your service and what you do. It actually is integrated with your Google Calendar, all your CRM, your EMR as well, and can actually book straight into the calendar. If you receive 5 calls after 5 p.m. every single day, and you could book the AI can book 2 of them, that is about a week, that is about 14 calls. And even on a Sunday, like most people are just sitting home, they're just reminding themselves of the things that they want to do and they want to book an appointment with you. And if there is no one to receive that call, they're going to go on Google and see the second listing and actually call that clinic. So why don't you have an AI receptionist that can book calls for you? Okay, and it comes with the same energy on every call. And it's like I said, it's actually trained on your service and what you do. Okay, so the second thing is staff manually follow up with every lead. A lot of clinics give, like a list of 1,000 people and give it to the receptionist. It's a really monotonous task, and the receptionist is not bringing the same energy to every call, and it's a whole mess, okay? So doctors answer the same questions every day. They actually get tired answering the same questions, so why don't you have an AI chatbot on your website, have an AI receptionist, like I said, that could be answering these questions, and it will actually help you save more time to serve your clients better, okay? Like I said, appointments are booked and confirmed manually. The owner spends evenings managing the business and needs to hire more staff to grow. Okay, Clinic B here, AI answered every call, day or night, qualifies the leads before they reach the team, handles the repetitive patient questions instantly, books appointments and sends reminders automatically. And here, the byproduct of it, the owner focuses on patients and growing the practice. You could have more time to work on the business, okay? And actually have more ideas that will come to you on how you can actually grow the business, and you'll have more time serving your patients and doing what you love at the end of the day, okay? And it can actually scale with you without increasing administrative workload, okay? Like I said, if you have 50 patients this week, you can handle 150 patients next week, okay? Over time, the first clinic responds faster, serves more patients, operates more efficiently, and grows with less overhead. So this Clinic B is going to be seeing more patients. The owner is not going to be overwhelmed. He's not going to be burnt out. He's going to be having good service. And there's going to be a compound effect of which the Clinic B over time is going to be way, way, way better than Clinic A. And it's going to be really hard for Clinic A to catch up, okay? Even if they decide to start using AI, okay? Because Clinic B already built a patient database, they already have their service really crafted because they serve more patients and they have more energy to serve those, okay? So this is the first way of how AI agents can actually be used in your practice. And here we have the AI voice and text agents, okay? So a lot of private practices are losing calls because people call, reach voicemail, and then move on to the next clinic on Google. Every missed call is a potential patient loss and a direct loss of revenue for the practice, okay? This is where AI voice agents come in. There are 3 main use cases for them in private practices. I'm talking about AI receptionists, speed to lead, lead reactivation, and for AI voice agents, we use retail AI. We actually used a lot of tools, a lot of AI voice agents, and we found the best results. We get the best results with retail AI because they are a growing company. I like their team, their product is probably the best in the market. So I would really vouch for them. Okay. So AI receptionist is pretty self-explanatory, and speed to lead is when someone fills out a form, on your website, on your lead form, on your marketing, and you're going to be having an AI agent that's going to reach out within a minute to actually book them into an appointment, answer any of their questions, and it just makes the process a lot easier for the patient, the potential patients, and you as well. Okay. So since an AI receptionist answers calls, books appointments, and collects patient's information, it may handle protected health information, PHI. So that means every party involved needs a business associate agreement to ensure patient data is handled securely and in compliance with HIPAA. Okay? In a typical setup, The clinic signs a BIA with Retail AI. Retail AI works with a lot of businesses in the healthcare industry and they have that option. So the clinic signs it with Retail AI. We sign a BIA with the clinic and we also sign it with Twilio, which is the phone number provider. And this ensures every party handling patient data is HIPAA compliant. Like I said, we use Retail AI since it is the best option for healthcare. It's fast, it integrates with the tools clinic already use, with the CRM, with the EMR, and offers HIPAA compliant infrastructure with BAAs available for eligible healthcare customers. So the first example on how we could use AI agents is using an AI receptionist. So what the AI receptionist does is books appointments, never puts anyone on hold or misses a call, available 24/7, answers patients' questions, and transfer the call to the right person, okay? So this is the duties of all AI receptionists, okay? So when something comes up where the AI shouldn't be handling, it can transfer to a human and escalate emergencies, okay? So we built a live transfer system, okay? So would patients be okay with this system? This is the question that I get the most when actually building it for clients. And most patients, based on what we saw, most patients don't notice or care under one condition, as long as the call feels natural and their problem gets solved, okay? An AI that answers in a few seconds, books the appointments, and sends a confirmation text is already a better experience than what most practices offer today, because the AI is becoming really good and patients actually even appreciate that, okay? And under a second condition is we have the AI introduce itself in the beginning, at the start of every call, because patients appreciate honesty and transparency, okay? And when patients know they're speaking with an AI and it's working really well, they understand it's an automated system and more likely to work with it rather than expect it to be like a human. Now, the second example is speed to lead, okay? So for this use case, we split tested AI voice agents and AI text agents, and we found that AI text agents bring the best results. And for this use case, we use a tool called AppointWise, okay? So it's an AI agent that uses SMS, Instagram, WhatsApp, depending on what you use to actually book appointments with your potential patients. It also integrates with Instagram as well. And it's where potential patients complete an online form or submit a request through the website or your marketing ad on your Facebook ads or your Google ads. And the AI reaches out and has a conversation with the patients and books the appointments or send the booking link, okay? Because a lot of clinics that I've worked with, the AI agents doesn't integrate with their EMR because they have their schedule in the EMR. So what we've done is the AI agents just send the booking link and they can book from the booking link, and it's been working completely fine, okay? So instead of relying on the team to call them back, which is in most practices means anywhere from a few hours to a few days, if not more. And the AI calls them within a few minutes, okay? As soon as they actually fill out the form, the AI, we split test it and we use AI text agents. The AI texts them within a few minutes, okay? And in healthcare, the slower you are to follow up with those potential patients, the lower your chance of converting them, okay? So I've been doing some research and there has been an MIT study that has been done. And what it shows is responding within 5 minutes makes you 100 more times more likely to reach the lead than waiting 13 minutes, okay? And even with my own experience, we've saw a massive increase in appointment booking rate if we reach out within a few minutes rather than even 20 minutes or half an hour or hours or days. So here's the study. So the odds of contacting a lead in 5 minutes versus 13 minutes dropped by 100 times. Okay, so this is your chances to book a potential patient for an appointment. This is your chances to do that. And the more you wait, even 10 minutes, look how much it actually decreases, okay? In fact, from just 5 minutes to 10 minutes, the odds decrease by 5 times, which is really insane. And the more you wait, I mean, for about 30 minutes, your chance to book in that lead is going drastically down, okay? And here 90-minute, your chance is absolutely like 0. whatever percent, okay? Which is why using AI agents for that becomes really important, okay? So how does the process work? So we build a speed to lead system that triggers when a lead reaches a specific stage in the CRM. So for example, when someone expresses interest but hasn't booked a consultation yet, the AI immediately reaches out by text, confirms they are still interested, answers any questions, and books the appointments. And this is the really fun part. We train the AI on the practice specific services so it can have natural, relevant conversation a relevant conversation with the patients, okay? So we train the AI on your specific service, what you do, your specific clinic, your specific team members, your specific opening hours, what you really do, and it answers all of the questions, okay, that your patients actually have before booking the appointments. So it's not only an appointment booking AI agent, it's an educator patient. It can educate your patients about what you do, how you can help, and what is your value, okay? And it actually also trains on sales and what it triggers people to actually book an appointment, okay? And it's not pushy at all. It literally waits for the patient to actually want to book. It just helps them make the decision, okay? So the key compliance consideration is consent, of course, TCPA. You need a clear record that the contacts consented to receive calls from you at some point. They submitted their inquiry. You should have that on your website or on your marketing lead form. And I did provide an example here. At this point, I guess everyone knows that. So now the third use case is database reactivation, okay? So this system targets patients who showed interest at some point but never converted. They may have filled out an inquiry form, had a consultation, or even booked an appointment and then canceled without ever rebooking. In most practices, these contacts just sit in the CRM for months because the team doesn't have the time to manually follow up with everyone. You're not going to give your receptionist a list of 2,000 people for the receptionist to actually reach out, you know? It's a really hard task to do. It's monotonous, and the receptionist is going to have low energy within the hundreds of contacts, okay? And a lot of times you're going to be receiving a lot of voicemails, and people are going to be rude, okay? So a great use case is to have an AI text agents, because we also split tested that, reach out to that list, reference their previous interactions to make the message feel personal, and give them a couple of simple next steps, usually booking an appointment or letting the practice know they're no longer interested, okay? The only thing to make sure is that those patients previously consented to receive text messages, okay? Like I said here, TCPA, okay? So on average, we see a 5% plus appointment booking rate from the leads contacted, okay? If you actually manually follow up on them and call, you're gonna be having like a 2-3%. We've also been using, like before AI, we've been using SMS automated messages, and we've seen like 3% appointment booking rate. So for example, if you have a database with 1,000 patients, AI texts everyone. This is like the usual metrics. So 300 reply, which is 30%, 150 conversations continue, so 15% of the conversations, 50 to 80 appointments booked, so 5 to 8%, and 40 to 70 actually show up, okay? So you're gonna be having a minimum from a list of 1,000 people, and you use your AI agent effectively, and it's really trained on your service and understand what actually triggers someone to book an appointment. It can minimum bring 40 patients through your door. Now, the second use case that we have here, and this is my favorite, is an AI practice intelligence agent, okay? So with the traditional way of operating, practice owners are often working blindly. Their data is spread across different tools. The team isn't working as efficiently as it could, and many decisions are made based on gut feeling instead of real data. On top of that, owners spend far too much time on administrative and repetitive tasks instead of focusing on growing the practice or caring for patients. So the best tool to use for this is OpenClaw. I've used a lot of tools, and I think OpenClaw is by far the best, okay? You never know, AI is changing a lot. Probably in the next 6 months, we're gonna have a new tool, but I got you, I'm gonna let you know. It's gonna be the best tool to use. So it runs on your own server with no monthly subscription and acts as the gateway between your AI models, Claude, ChatGPT, etc., and the rest of your software. It actually integrates with the different tools of your software, and you can link it with ChatGPT or Claude, whatever you choose and you prefer. So it connects to your CRM, practice management software, ad accounts, social platforms, and other tools through standard API connections. And here, if you're wondering what is an API connection, an API is simply a way for different software applications to communicate and share data with each other, okay? So you interact with OpenClaw through apps you already use, like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Slack, so there's no need to learn a new dashboard or open another application. If you have Telegram, you can have a chat with the chatbot and you just ask it a question, or you send a task to be done, and it can actually do it for you, which is extremely efficient. So here's the first case of how you can use this AI agent, which could be with the patient volume, okay? So every morning, the AI agent tells you exactly how many patients came through the door yesterday and it compares it to last week, last month, and the same time last year. So for example, it may say, yesterday you had 14 patients visits. Last Tuesday you had 11, so you're up 27% week over week. This time last month you were averaging 9 visits a day, so you're up 55%. That is just an example. And in less than 10 seconds, you know exactly how the practice is performing, and you're not waiting until the end of the week for someone to pull a report. Okay, so you're actually cutting on some administrative work for your receptionist or your admin staff or even yourself. And you can actually allocate that resource of time of one of your employees to do a better, a more leveraged task. Okay, so you have the information that morning so you can make decisions the same day, which is extremely crucial. Every morning you wake up, you start work, you know what position are you in, so you can start noticing patterns and you can start making your changes from there. So the second use case that we have here is revenue plus monthly pacing. Okay, so this is where most practice owners have the biggest blind spot, and most know that what they made at the end of the month, but very few know where they are tracking throughout the month. Okay, so let me tell you something. Like most big companies, publicly traded companies, they're forecasting, they know exactly day by day how much they're making, and it's a major thing that helps them to grow because they can actually see the data and what changes need to be made and what iterations. Okay, so every morning the AI can tell you something like that. Yesterday's revenue was 11K. Month to date, you are at 67. At this pace, you're on track to finish the month around 179. Last month, you finished at 161, so you're currently running 11% ahead, which is really amazing. Now, you know exactly where the practice stands in real time. If you're behind pace halfway through the month, you still have time to do something about it. Most owners don't realize they had a bad month until the month is already over, which is extremely crucial. So the third use case that we have here is what patients actually want. So I'm talking about patient interaction, consult requests, form submissions, call transcripts, and intake forms. It all contains valuable information about what patients actually want. And the problem is that most practices never use that data. And it just sits in the CRM for years and years on end, and they never actually use it to grow their practice. So I want to explain something before going any further, which is HIPAA. So the agent should pull operational data and not individual patient records, okay? So it's telling you that 14 patients came in yesterday and 11K was collected. It's not telling you that John Smith at 42 years old came in for a testosterone panel and his levels were low. Okay, you should not be pulling up patient data. It's actually private. You should not give it to the AI agents, even though it's actually super powerful, but you should not be doing it, all right? So the AI agents reads through it and gives you a simple updates every morning. Like that is an example. Yesterday's inquiries by service. We had, for example, hormone optimization 6, peptide 3, IV therapy 2, weight management 1, and it actually gives you a conclusion at the end of it, which could be a trend alert, for example. Hormone optimization inquiries are up 40% over the last 3 weeks, while peptides inquiries are flat. And this is the fun part. Now, that is your market telling you what it is interested in. You have the data, and if one service is taking off, you can create more content, run more ads, or train your team around it. And if no one's asking about a service you're heavily promoting, that's something you should know too. So you should not be spending more resources on it, more time and more money, okay? And we've seen massive success with our clients with it. And if you like at least 40 patients in the next 60 days using their AI systems, and our patient acquisition system that uses AI to book appointments, follow up with patients, it's actually proven. You can absolutely apply to work with us in the link below. And it's actually guaranteed. We guarantee for our clients 40 patients in the next 60 days or they don't pay. So yeah, you can apply below using the link, all right? So here we have social media performance. This is the fourth use case. So most practice owners post content but have no idea what's actually working. To find out, they have to open each platform, dig through the analytics, compare the numbers, which is something very few people do consistently. Even though very few clinic owners do content, some of them do YouTube, which is, it has massive leverage. And all the clinic owners, the practitioners that are using YouTube right now, they are crushing it. They are the leaders in their industry. And how the AI agents can actually help you with that and make the iteration process more and more faster, and you actually getting better content. It can give you a simple update like that. Okay, so this week's top performing post was your Tuesday reel on TRT and sleep quality. It reached 8,000 people, generated 300 saves, 90 profile visits, and 7 direct messages. Your other 3 posts averaged 1,200 views and 18 saves. Okay, now you know exactly what resonates with your audience. Instead of guessing what to post next, you simply create more of what the data shows is already working. It can also give suggestions and what type of content to focus on, which is extremely important. Like I said, it makes the iteration process more and more faster, and you can, actually grow your personal brand more rapidly. All right, and it also can help you with the marketing metrics. Every morning, the AI gives you a snapshot of your marketing performance without you having to log into your Google Ads or Meta, if you're running Google or Meta Ads, all right? So it could be an example. Yesterday, your Google search campaign generated 4 leads at a cost of $34 per lead. Your Meta campaign generated 2 leads. This week, Google is outperforming Meta by 44% on cost per acquisition. We also have for our clients, we build a system where the AI agents also sends updates about how many patients did the marketing bring, how much is the cost per acquisition for each patient, how much did we spend as well. It's a really detailed report that comes every morning, so they have a close eye on what happens in their marketing, and we're pretty transparent with it. All right, so in a few seconds you know exactly where your marketing dollars are working best, and if one channel is consistently outperforming another, you can shift your budget immediately instead of waiting until the end of the month to find out, which is really amazing. All right, and the last thing that I'm gonna wrap up the video with is technical and compliance. I hope I gave you a little bit of insights about how to handle that compliantly. And with OpenClaw, think of it like hiring a new employee. All right, you wouldn't ask them to share your doctor's computer, you give them their own workstation, and AI is no different. An example could be buying a Mac Mini. All right, and you can attach that to your laptop and run the AI agents from there. And it also adds an extra layer of security. Instead of giving an AI access to the computer that contains your personal files, financial information, day-to-day work. And it operates on its own dedicated machine. If the AI needs to be updated, restarted, or reconfigured, it doesn't affect the computers your staff use every day. Okay, you could have that externally, and it can update, and you can still continue working. So keeping the AI environment separate also make it easier to manage permissions, troubleshoot issues, and reduce the risk of exposing unrelated data. You can just give it the tools that you want it to actually control on your behalf. And like I said, having a Mac Mini is a huge game changer. And yeah, that is the video. I hope you actually liked it. I hope I gave you enough value about what are AI agents and how you can use them. And if you want another video to be more on the practical side of things, how to set them up, please let me know. I would be more than happy to do so. And yeah, that's all. Hope to see you to the next one. Cheers.